I'm 3 weeks into my 15-week diet and I'm already 5 pounds down. And I've lost these 5 pounds while still enjoying cereal every single night, while still going out socializing, having meals out. And I've even been to a wedding where, the food is out of your control and I've had 2 slices of pizza, but yeah, I'm still making amazing progress and dropping body fat. In this video, I'm going to run through the main things that I've been doing to help me achieve this while still having a pretty normal life at the same time. And I'm also not going to waste your time by saying I'm just in a calorie deficit and therefore, eating less, moving more sort of thing, because that's what ultimately leads to fat loss. So what we're going to do is actually cover the main things that people get wrong, but I'm doing correctly to be able to get these results. So number one, let's talk about my workouts and what I'm doing with my training at the moment, because most people will think that, I bet he's on some fat loss workout now, probably doing more circuits, more supersets to keep the heart rate up, but no. My workouts literally haven't changed at all. In fact, I'm doing the exact same workout now that I was doing back in November. I don't even know how many months that is, but it's over 6 months, like distance time away. And I'm still doing the same workouts as I was. Still seeing progress, right? Many people confuse when it comes to trying to lose fat and lose weight, that they think they need to up the ante of their workouts and do some HIIT-based style stuff, and it just simply isn't the case. I'm strength training 4 to 5 days per week, every single week. That's the main thing that I'm focusing on. I'm still lifting heavy. I'm still taking massive rests in between my sets, sometimes up to 3 minutes long. But actually something I am doing in between those sets is I'm making sure that I am moving more and pacing up and down rather than being sat still like I am right now. But other than that, my workouts literally haven't changed. They're exactly the same, and I'm just focusing on continuing to build muscle, get strong. And that's ultimately the main thing that you need to be doing when you're in a fat loss phase. It's not getting like shiny object syndrome and trying to jump on the new fat loss trend for weight training. So stick to the basics, and I promise this is going to be something that's really, really helpful, because it's helped me do this so far, and I'm going to be going even further at the end of this. The next thing that I'm doing is I'm tracking all of my calories and weighing all of my food. I know I'm not skimping out on this like most people do, where they maybe weigh a few different things, but maybe they don't think about weighing their veg or maybe that little bit of cheese that they had and stuff. I'm making sure that I'm weighing and tracking absolutely everything throughout my entire journey. And again, this is where most people wrong. They think that they can flippantly track things and loosely weigh stuff or eyeball things. Like, I've been weighing food, tracking food for years. On and off, granted, but I've been doing it for years, and I still can't fully eyeball something and get it right. So therefore, what are the chances of someone else being able to do that? It's just not possible. So therefore, for me to get the best results, and like I said, I've lost 5 pounds already in just 3 weeks, that I'm making sure that I'm still doing this stuff. I'm continuously weighing everything, tracking my calories, because this is ultimately going to give me the best results at the end of the 15 weeks. I'd hate to get to the end of it and look back and think I could have done a little bit more, or I could have just pushed a little bit harder and not took it as easy as that point, and I'd have even better results. So I'm constantly having that in my frame of mind throughout this entire process, because don't get me wrong, I don't want to do it. I don't want to always track my calories. I don't want to always weigh everything. It's a massive pain in the ass, but I'm just constantly thinking about that end goal in sight when I'm looking at getting my food right and tracking everything out in the right way, because this is ultimately going to allow me to get those very best results. And again, I'm going to go back to the start. I've lost 5 pounds already. The reason that I've been able to lose 5 pounds so quickly is because I'm being so intricate with this stuff and making sure that I get it right from the very get-go. And this is why this is going so successfully. Now, something else that I've been doing in my diet is I've been fasting in the morning as frequently as I can. Don't get me wrong, I haven't been doing this every single day, because some days it just doesn't fit into my lifestyle. I have other work commitments, and it means if I don't eat in the morning, I ain't eating for a very long time, and I'm going to get pretty grouchy. So I'm not being religious with it, okay, I can't eat from as soon as I wake up to 1 o'clock every single day, like most people take fasting approaches. I'm just being a bit more flexible with it, but pushing my first meal back as late as I possibly can. And the main reason for this is because, I'm shortening my eating window. And like everyone, in the morning, it's a little bit easier to resist urges and to have stronger willpower. As the day goes on, as it's been a stressful day, people have been pissing you off, you're a little bit more fatigued and tired, it's harder to fight hunger and everything in the evening, right? It becomes more difficult. And let's face it, no one's sinking like a tub of Ben and Jerry's or a bar of like dairy milk in the evening. Funny thing about dairy milk, this is a little bit of a side tangent. I've still got this hold up on this. All my life until about 2 years ago, I called it Dairy Milk. And I still, did I ever tell you that? I've always called it Dairy Milk, and I've never known that it was dairy milk for years. Anyway, that's a side tangent, but yeah, that's pretty funny. Anyway, so yeah, no one like struggles to resist that stuff in the morning. It's not that sort of time in the day where you're going to binge on that, right? It's usually later in the day. And there's a very good reason for that. Willpower starts to take a dive. You start to become more tired and all that sort of stuff. So it's a little bit easier to overindulge in the evenings. So this is why it's easier to, at the start of the day, push your first meal back as late as you can. And then when it comes to the end of the day, you're condensing your food into a smaller time frame so you can feel fuller through the evening, so you can resist those urges. Not even resist them, not have them at all, because you're just feeling full. And this is something that's been working incredibly well for me, is pushing back that first meal as late as I can. Now, don't get me wrong, some days there is going to be hunger in the morning and I still experience hunger. But the things that I do for this is make sure I drink plenty of water. And in fact, I make sure that I have a lot of sparkling water, because sparkling water can satiate your stomach a little bit more because of the bubbles, but also caffeine can. Caffeine can suppress your appetite and give you a little bit of an energy boost. So again, it's a little bit easier to offset that hunger in the morning by using these protocols, whereas you don't want to be drinking too much water before bed or having caffeine, because your sleep's going to be affected at that point, right? So it's just these sort of things that I'm utilizing to be able to help me keep to my deficit a lot better. And something else that I do want to point out here as well is like, hunger is normal. If you're dieting, you should expect to feel hungry at some point. People panic and worry as soon as they feel hungry, like, I shouldn't be hungry. No, you should be hungry. You're in a deficit, you're in a diet, you're not eating enough calories every single day. So hunger is a normal thing. And I think a lot of people need to change their expectations around it, because if you're expecting to never feel hungry, then obviously when you get hungry, you're going to panic and shit, I need to eat. Whereas when you expect like, actually, no, this is me in fat loss now, like I should be feeling a little bit hungry and stuff, that's normal. It's a little bit easier to deal with because you know it's just part of the process. And the fourth thing that's been helping me contribute to this 5 pounds in weight loss already is just getting an extra 3,000 steps per day. Now, my steps are going to go up higher and higher throughout this program, because as I start getting deeper into the diet, I will be burning less calories and I will have to be more restricted, and therefore I'll have to try and burn more calories as well. So it's not like my steps are going to stay just 3,000 extra all the way through. No doubt I'm going to have to push it up higher at some point when I hit a plateau. But for right now, I've just been getting extra 3,000 steps per day. When I wasn't dieting, I was getting around 7K steps. Now I'm pushing it up to 10K steps per day. So this has allowed me to, just burn an extra like few hundred calories every single week. And it's just keeping me much more active as I go throughout my day, so I can create a bigger deficit from the extra movement that I'm doing. And a lot of people really underestimate like how effective just moving more can burn more calories and help you with your fat loss journey. It's a super underrated tool to be able to use for fat loss. So I definitely recommend focusing on your steps has just been an absolute game changer. And again, going back to what I said earlier, it's not like I'm trying to get an extra 10,000 steps every day. I'm just getting more than I was before. No doubt, again, I'm going to have to get a little bit more as it goes on, but for right now, this is all I'm focusing on that extra movement. And if you are someone finding it hard to get steps in your day, like I do, like I have a desk-bound job for most of the time when I'm checking in with clients, when I'm creating content, like all this sort of stuff. Right now in this YouTube video, I'm sat down and not moving much. So something that like I said earlier, I've been utilizing is when I'm in the gym, when I'm resting in between sets, I'm walking up and down, I'm marching on the spot, I'm trying to move and get as many steps in as I can in like more convenient times rather than adding on an extra hour to my day to get out for a walk. I'm just trying to integrate it as best as I can, which is making a massive, massive difference. I've been surprised to see that in a workout, I can get an additional like 2,000 steps just pacing up and down in between my rest periods. So this has been a massive thing that's really, really helping me again towards losing that weight that I've lost so far. And the fifth and final thing is I've been doing about an extra 30 to 40 minutes of cardio per week than I was doing before. I was doing about 20 to 25 minutes just to make sure my fitness was quite good coming into this diet and making sure I was healthy as possible. But I have slightly increased it now as I'm going through this, just to one, keep my fitness levels up so I stay fit throughout this fat loss journey. But two, it is going to burn some extra calories. Granted, it isn't masses, like it's an extra 200 to 300 calories like per week, which isn't really much in terms of a deficit. I mean, the amount of time it takes me to burn those calories versus how quickly I can eat those calories is a pretty big difference, right? I have to put in quite a lot of effort on like a spin bike or skipping to burn that, whereas I could inhale 3 digested biscuits in seconds and put all that calories back in my body. So it's not necessarily about burning more calories through cardio, it's just making sure that I stay fit and healthy as possible while I'm going through this diet and helping me keep nice and energized. And I'm not doing anything like HIIT intensity stuff like jumping up around my living room, doing burpees, like all this crazy shit that you see people doing for fat loss. I'm literally just doing like a slow, steady state bit of cardio. Obviously, when I'm doing skipping, that's a bit more fast paced, but I just love skipping. I quite find it therapeutic in a weird sadistic way, just getting into the rhythm of it. But yeah, I'm not doing anything like ridiculous, like anything super high intensity. It's again, just to make sure that I maintain my fitness level as much as I can throughout this diet. And yeah, it does burn a few extra calories. So it's going to be somewhat beneficial towards the fat loss itself. But yeah, that's pretty much the main things that I'm doing for my diet at the moment. Obviously, like we can also talk about, yeah, I'm putting myself in a deficit. I'm making sure that I build muscle, eat protein, but that's stuff that you already know. It's more of these intricate things about what I am doing versus the bullshit things that you see online that I'm not doing to be able to help me lose this weight right now. But something that I do really need to emphasize on this is like, this isn't easy. Like there's times where I haven't wanted to get my steps in. I had to spend 40 minutes on the treadmill in the gym the other day. I wanted to blow my brains out. It was so boring, like I hated it, but it had to get done. I had to get my steps in because it was raining outside. And there's a day this week that I had to spend 2 hours in the gym because I was traveling. I didn't get my session in for cardio, so I had to add it on to my gym session, and it just took a lot longer than usual. I usually want to be out of the gym in an hour, like I'd hate spending any longer, but I had to do it. So although I'm saying like, okay, I'm just doing these things, it doesn't sound like much. It doesn't mean that I'm not putting in the effort, and it doesn't mean that I'm not making sacrifices. Do you think I would have been able to lose 5 pounds this easy without having to really put the effort in and make sacrifices? No, like it's gonna take some effort and hard work. And that's exactly what I'm doing with these things. It's simple, like the things I'm doing are simple, but it doesn't mean it's easy. And this is something really important to point out because, yeah, I don't want this video to come across as like, yeah, like just do these small things and you'll lose weight. Like, nah, I'm doing things that I don't necessarily want to do, and I'm putting in the effort as much as I can. And the good thing is like you can achieve these results as well. Like I'm not an anomaly. I'm not doing this stuff and breezing through it. Like I said, I'm having to work hard. So if you follow these 5 things and if you work hard and do the things that I'm doing, you can achieve the exact same thing and start seeing amazing results with your fat loss. And yeah, I'll be sharing more tips and tricks as I go throughout this journey and continue to update you. But hopefully you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next update.